What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got another season of the Wish video, and in this one we're going to focus on all of the new legendary weapon rolls inside of the season, and especially we'll be looking at the brand new seasonal weapons, as well as some of the reprised stuff like the Undying Weapons and the Dreaming City guns. On top of that though, we'll look at new activity rewards, so we've got the new Nightfall Weapons, things coming from trials, new world drops, PvP rewards, and a bunch of other weapons to round up in the video. I'll put timestamps for the main sections down below, and as always I hope you find this one useful, but without further delay, let's get into it. And so firstly, we'll talk about the new season weapons, of course earned in the season of Wish activities, and they've got the sort of Dreaming City theme. And we start out with the Scatter Signal, and this is a new Strand Rapid Fire Frame Fusion Rifle. We can already see on Light GG some of the popular individual perks for the weapon. So in the first trait slot for main traits, we've got Slice. This is a new bonus where casting your class ability allows this weapon to sever targets on hit for a brief duration, up to a maximum number of targets. So that's an interesting new bonus. At this point in the season, I haven't actually used it yet. On top of that though, we've got Overflow, Enlightened Action, Perpetual Motion, Surplus, Encore, and Loose Change in the first trade slot, with the second trade slot able to roll Controlled Burst, as well as Hatchling, and then Attrition Orbs, another new bonus for the season, where dealing sustained damage creates an Orb of Power. Plus there's Deconstruct, where dealing sustained damage grants bonus damage against vehicles and constructs and partially refills the magazine, and damage with primary ammo or against constructs provides additional progress. And it says constructs include barricades, turrets, stasis crystals, and other objects created in the field. So kind of an unusual perk there, but potentially it could be sort of an interesting one. On top of that though, in the second trait slot, this weapon can roll Adagio, Kickstart, and Under Over. And for all of the seasonal weapons, they get the Dragon's Vengeance origin trait, and when an ally dies or you reach critical health, the weapon's magazine refills and gains bonus range, charge rate, and handling. On top of that though, there is the Super Cluster, and this is a new Strand shotgun in a pinpoint slug frame. And in the first trade slot, it's able to roll Reconstruction, as well as Slice, and then fourth times the charm, Threat Detector, Slide Shot, Lead from Gold, and Loose Change, with the second trade slot able to get Vorpal Weapon, Hatchling, Cascade Point, Surrounded, Deconstruct, Fragile Focus, and Attrition Orbs. We can see immediately things like Reconstruction or Slice paired with Vorpal Weapon and Hatchling are some of the popular perk combos, but of course Cascade Point, Surrounded, and even Deconstruct are interesting bonuses as well. And then there is the Appetence, which is a new Stasis Trace Rifle. It's an adaptive frame, I'm probably saying the name of that one wrong, but the first trade slot's able to get Overflow, Demolitionist, Clown Cartridge, Enlightened Action, Hipfire Grip, Loose Change, and Slideways. Then in the second trade slot it can get Killing Tally, so I believe it's only the second trace rifle that's been able to roll that, but also it can get Headstone, Attrition Orbs, One for All, Deconstruct, Wellspring, and High Ground. So there are some good rolls. Overflow, Demolitionist, and Clown Cartridge are pretty solid bonuses in the first trade slot, plus Killing Tally and Headstone are decent too. But that takes us to the Lethophobia, which is a new Void lightweight frame bow, and the first trait slot can get Permeability, where using your class ability changes the weapon's damage type to match the subclass until the weapon is stowed. So that's actually a pretty cool bonus. Plus it can roll Repulsor Brace, Impulse Amplifier, Successful Warm-Up, Enlightened Action, Steady Hands, and Slick Draw, with the second trade slot able to get Explosive Head, Attrition Orbs, Golden Tricorn, Deconstruct, Surrounded, Disruption Break, and High Ground. So actually a pretty decent looking bow right there. I like the bonus that changes the damage when you use your class ability. But then there's the Scalar Potential, and this is a new Arc Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle. And in the first trade slot it can get Permeability once again, as well as Overflow, Keep Away, Enlightened Action, Slick Draw, Loose Change, and Hipfire Grip. Then the second trade slot can roll Attrition Orbs, as well as Headseeker, Golden Tricorn, Deconstruct, Focused Fury, High Ground, and Under Over. And we can see people are keeping rolls with things like Permeability and Attrition Orbs. Headseeker is a decent bonus if you want it for PvP, and Overflow with Attrition Orbs, Golden Tricorn, or even Deconstruct is an interesting setup as well. But then finally for the new seasonal weapons, we've got the Doomed Petitioner, and this is a Void linear fusion rifle in an aggressive frame, so it's the 3-round burst archetype, and the first trade slot can get Reconstruction, Envious Assassin, Permeability, but also Destabilizing Rounds, Attrition Orbs, and then Keep Away and Threat Detector, with the second trade slot able to get Precision Instrument, and of course dealing sustained damage increases precision damage. Then the Surrounded, Deconstruct, Golden Tricorn, High Ground, Loose Change, and Moving Target. And so Reconstruction and Precision Instrument is a really nice combo there. Envious Assassin is decent as well to get that magazine up, and obviously those two paired with Precision Instrument, or even Surrounded in the right encounters, could potentially be able to put out some pretty good damage. Next up though, let's get on to reprised weapons for activities this season, and some of the Season of Undying Weapons have returned, like the Subjunctive, and this is an arc lightweight frame SMG. And we can see early on players are getting pairings of things like Threat Detector and Vault Shot, but the first trade slot can also roll Subsistence, Grave Robber, Stats for All, Under Pressure, Shoot to Loot, and Hipfire Grip. And as well as Vault Shot, the second slot has One for All, Permeability, Attrition Orbs, and then Swashbuckler, Golden Tricorn, and Disruption Break. But as we've seen before, things like Threat Detector, Subsistence, being able to pair up with Vault Shot is going to decide one of the best roles for this weapon pretty quickly. And these Undying Weapons also have the Nano Munitions origin trait, where being near allies slowly builds up a partial emergency ammo refill for the next time the weapon runs out of ammo. An emergency ammo amount increases with the time spent near allies. We've also got the return of the Adaptative, and this is an adaptive frame solar pulse rifle. The top 4 bonuses in the first trait slot are Heal Clip, Attrition Orbs, Feeding Frenzy, or Loose Change, and those can be paired up with Incandescent, Headseeker, Deconstruct, Golden Tricorn, Harmony, Disruption Break, or Moving Target. So Heal Clip and Incandescent's popular, Attrition Orbs is decent as well, and presumably any damage created by Incandescent will also generate orbs there, so that's kind of an interesting one. But then there is the Optative, and this is the Void Precision Frame Hand Cannon, with the first trait slot able to get Rapid Hit, Permeability, Demolitionist, Attrition Orbs, Repulsor Brace, Keep Away, and Hipfire Grip, and the second slot able to roll Kill Clip, Deconstruct, Golden Tricorn, Under Over, Zen Moment, Wellspring, and Offhand Strike. So Rapid Hit and Kill Clip is an interesting one, could actually be pretty nasty on this archetype. But the final Undying Weapon is the Imperative. This is a kinetic high-impact frame scout rifle, where in the first trade slot we've got Rapid Hit, Demolitionist, Subsistence, Triple Tap, Keep Away, No Distractions, and Well-Rounded. Then the second trade slot can get Kinetic Tremors, Explosive Payload, Deconstruct, Attrition Orbs, as well as Adrenaline Junkie, Opening Shot, and Osmosis. So a Rapid Hit Kinetic Tremors high-impact scout rifle is now on the menu. And here we get onto the reprised Forsaken World weapons, so things like the retold Tail Shotgun, and this is a Void Precision Frame Shotgun, where in the first trade slot we can roll Quick Draw, Slide Shot, Repulsor Brace, Lead from Gold, Well-Rounded, and Loose Change, and then the second trade slot's able to get 1-2 Punch, Snapshot Sights, Destabilizing Rounds, but also Barrel Constrictor, Deconstruct, and Killing Wind. Man, Deconstruct is featuring on nearly every weapon brought in this season, but the Forsaken weapons also have a new origin trait, which is Advanced Reflexes, and upon taking damage from a target, quickly guard or aim down sights with the weapon to gain bonus mobility, handling, and charge rate for a short time. So that's interesting. The Twilight Oath Sniper's back as well. This is a rapid fire frame solar sniper, and the first trade slot's got Opening Shot, Envious Assassin, Heal Clip, Enlightened Action, Surplus, and Killing Wind, with the second trade slot able to get Snapshot Sights, Incandescent, Kill Clip, Precision Instrument, Vorpal Weapon, and High Ground. So depending on what you want to do immediately there are a few interesting options. But there's the Tiger Spite, which is a precision frame kinetic auto rifle here. It can roll Overflow, Subsistence, Outlaw, Moving Target, and then Fragile Focus or Invisible Hand in the first trade slot, with the second slot able to get Kinetic Tremors, Kill Clip, Frenzy, Demolitionist, Attrition Orbs, or Eye of the Storm. So straight away again, Overflow, Subsistence, even Outlaw, paired up with Kinetic Tremors, Kill Clip, or Frenzy are going to be some of the better rolls that you can get on this thing. But the Vouchsafe Scout Rifle is back, and it's a lightweight frame Void Scout. Once again, Rapid Hit, Repulsor Brace, and then fourth time's the charm, Outlaw, Moving Target, and Stats for All are available in the first trade slot, with the second slot able to get Destabilizing Rounds, Explosive Payload, Dragonfly, Attrition Orbs, Golden Tricorn, and Collective Action. So Rapid Hit Destabilizing Rounds is nice, but then there's the Waking Visual Hand Cannon, which is adaptive frame with arc damage, and the first trade slot can roll Outlaw, but also Rapid Hit, Rangefinder, Perpetual Motion, Envious Assassin, and Shoot to Loot, and that can be paired up with Vault Shot, Kill Clip, Dragonfly, Opening Shot, Attrition Orbs, or Collective Action. So another Vault Shot hand cannon option right there. An Outlaw, Rapid Hit, and Rangefinder in the first trade slot, paired up with Vault Shot, Kill Clip, or Dragonfly are pretty nice options. There's Opening Shot there as well if you want it. But on top of that, there is the Abide the Return, and this is a solar adaptive frame sword. The first trade slot can get Relentless Strikes, Tireless Blade, Duelist Trance, and then Thresh, Energy Transfer, and Turnabout, and that can be paired up with Incandescent, attrition orbs, whirlwind blade, permeability, but also valiant charge or on guard. So relentless strikes incandescent is immediately pretty decent. We're certainly putting in a bunch of the juicy perks on these weapons. But finally, for the reprised Dreaming City stuff, we've got the Sleepless, which is the arc high impact frame rocket launcher, and in the first trade slot it can get tracking module, auto-loading holster, as well as field prep, wellspring, ensemble, and slick draw, and those can be paired up with bipod, chain reaction, permeability, which is interesting, as well as demolitionist, attrition orbs, and high ground. So give us your thoughts on the returning Dreaming City weapons right there. It's nice to have some of them back. I'm not incredibly excited about it since they are reprised, but there are some decent options there, and for some, there'll definitely be some excitement to have some of those back with updated perks, so share your thoughts below. Next up though, let's keep things interesting with some of the newer weapons this season, because there are quite a few reprised things, but for the Trials of Osiris, we have the Incisor, which is a strand adaptive frame trace rifle. So, of course, one of the first of its kind, and in the first trait slot, it can roll Slice, as well as Offhand Strike, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Perpetual Motion, Zen Moment, Envious Assassin, or Subsistence. Then the second trait slot is able to get Target Lock, Tap the Trigger, Hatchling, Kill Clip, Attrition Orbs, Encore, or Killing Tally, so another Killing Tally trace rifle here. And I think Slice could be a pretty interesting perk. Obviously, Envious Assassin and Subsistence are decent bonuses, and a Target Lock trace rifle could be pretty interesting. Also, Hatchling on a trace is going to be cool, but there are robust options like Kill Clip and even Killing Tally there as well. And of course, we get One Quiet Moment and Alacrity as origin traits, with this being a Trials weapon. But the other Trials weapon is the Eye of Soul, which is an adaptive frame kinetic sniper. Of course, this one's returning, and in the first trait slot, it can roll Encore, Fragile Focus, Moving Target, No Distractions, Perpetual Motion, and Shot Swap, with the second trait slot able to get Firing Line, but also Snapshot Sights, Opening Shot, Vorpal Weapon, Precision Instrument, Keep Away, and Deconstruct. So there are a mixture of PvP and PvE focused bonuses there. So share your thoughts below, but next we have the Undercurrent, and this is one of the new Nightfall weapons. So this is an arc wave frame grenade launcher right here. And the first trait slot is able to roll Lead from Gold, Field Prep, Stats for All, and then Ambitious Assassin, Eddy Current, and Demolitionist. And the second trait slot can get Volt Shot, so a wave frame with Volt Shot is interesting, but also One for All, Bait and Switch, Adrenaline Junkie, Attrition Orbs, and High Ground. So I think there are a bunch of interesting roles there potentially. Share your thoughts below, but the other returning weapon for the Nightfalls is the Azumi RR4, which is an adaptive frame solar sniper, and the first trait slot is able to roll Discord, Attrition Orbs, Clown Cartridge, Lead from Gold, 4th times the charm, and Snapshot Sights, with the second trait slot able to get Deconstruct, Explosive Payload, Vorpal Weapon, and then Golden Tricorn, Precision Instrument, and Incandescent. So share your thoughts on new Nightfall weapons, but also we get a new Iron Banner weapon in the form of Lethal Abundance, and this is a strand high impact frame auto rifle. So in the first trait slot it can roll Discord, as well as Enlightened Action, Keep Away, Dynamic Sway Reduction, and Slice. Then the second trait slot can get Target Lock, Tap the Trigger, Hatchling, Collective Action, Onslaught, and finally Attrition Orbs. Of course, these will also get the Skulking Wolf origin trait, and the other Iron Banner weapon for the season is the Reese Walker, of course returning as a lightweight frame kinetic shotgun, and this can roll Surplus, as well as Slick Draw, Slide Shot, Shot Swap, and then Discord and Killing Wind, with the second trait slot able to get Harmony, Adagio, Vorpal Weapon, Iron Reach, Fragile Focus, and Opening Shot. I'm certainly more interested in the new Iron Banner Auto, but give us your thoughts below. On the subject of PvP rewards though, there is the Belisarius D, which is an aggressive burst strand pulse rifle, and it's a hard-hitting 4-burst fire pulse, which is able to roll Rapid Hit, as well as Keep Away, Slice, Elemental Capacitor, Eye of the Storm, and Vorpal Weapon in the first trade slot. And the second trade slot can get Headseeker, Kill Clip, Zen Moment, Moving Target, Hatchling, or Deconstruct. So naturally for PvP, Rapid Hit and Headseeker are very popular immediately, but it's got a few options: Keep Away, Slice, and Kill Clip and Zen Moment. Of course, depending on what you're doing with the weapon, are pretty good bonuses, but certainly it has good PvP options. Next up though, you may have noticed that the Breakneck from Gambit has returned. This is a precision frame kinetic auto rifle, and it's now a world drop according to the database. As always, these have absolutely massive perk pools, but in the first trade slot it can get Subsistence, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Hipfire Grip, Keep Away, Heating Up, as well as Shoot to Loot, Pugilist, Feeding Frenzy, Encore, Enlightened Action, Eye of the Storm, and Under Pressure, then the second trade slot can get Onslaught, which is interesting, plus Deconstruct, Attrition Orbs, Kinetic Tremors, Demolitionist, Offhand Strike, Tap the Trigger, Osmosis, Moving Target, Adagio, and Harmony. So plenty of perks that lots of players won't be really interested in, but Subsistence and Onslaught is an interesting combo. There's also Kinetic Tremors there if you want it too. Plus the weapon gets the Gun and Run origin trait, so let us know any roles you're interested in with the Breakneck right there. Another world drop auto that's been introduced though is the Ros Arago 4. This is a Void Adaptive Frame auto rifle, and the first trade slot can get Rewind Rounds, Permeability, Subsistence, Repulsor Brace, Dynamic Sway Reduction, and Slick Draw, with the second trade slot able to roll Onslaught, Deconstruct, Attrition Orbs, Golden Tricorn, Surrounded, and Under Over. So Rewind Rounds and Onslaught is pretty cool. Then another new weapon is the Parabellum, which is an adaptive frame solar SMG, and the first trade slot can get Heal Clip, Rewind Rounds, Permeability, and then Enlightened Action, as well as Shoot to Loot, and Stats for All. Then the second trade slot can roll Attrition Orbs, Frenzy, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Deconstruct, Adagio, and Under Over. So I'd say Heal Clip, Rewind Rounds, and Permeability are pretty good, especially paired up with Dynamic Sway Reduction, Frenzy. Attrition Orbs is interesting too. But other world drops for this season include the Makato 45, which is a strand adaptive frame machine gun, able to roll Slice, Demolitionist, Triple Tap, Attrition Orbs, Threat Detector, and Steady Hands in the first trade slot, with Onslaught, Hatchling, Surrounded, Adagio, Golden Tricorn, and Under Over in the second trade slot. It also gets the Soros Synergy origin trait, but Slice, as well as Demolitionist and Triple Tap, paired with Onslaught, Hatchling, or Surrounded, depending on how you want to play. But I especially think Onslaught is an interesting perk for the machine gun, so overall that could be a decent one. Very finally though, there is a new rocket launcher, the Crux Termination, and this is an aggressive frame arc launcher. It's another world drop, but it can roll Reconstruction, Clown Cartridge, Envious Assassin, Slide Shot, Permeability, and Eddy Current in the first trade slot, and then it can get Bipod, Explosive Light, Tracking Module, Demolitionist, Surrounded, and Quick Draw in the second trade slot. So that's a pretty interesting one. Reconstruction, Clown Cartridge, and Envious Assassin are all really nice perks to have there. And depending on what you want to do, Bipod, Explosive Light, and Tracking Module are pretty good as well. So kind of curious, but some of the more interesting weapons this season are actually world drops. Of course, that makes them a little bit more difficult to obtain. Hopefully Banshee can help us out with that a bit at some point in the season, but let us know your thoughts on those down below. For today though guys, that is the vast majority of the weapons this season, with the exception of dungeon weapons, and some for events that are coming later on. But of course we'll cover all that stuff in good time. For today, let us know any weapons that stand out or are exciting to you guys. I hope as always you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, a rating below very much helps us out on the channel. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.